Hi everyone, today I wanted to read and reflect upon another passage from the book Walden by Henry David Thoreau, specifically from the 3rd chapter of this book, which is titled Reading. And after I read this passage aloud to you, I'm going to read to you a reflection that I wrote about it in my journal. So here goes the passage from Walden. To read well, that is, to read true books in a true spirit, is a noble exercise, and one that will task the reader more than any exercise which the customs of the day esteem. It requires a training such as the athletes underwent, the steady intention almost of the whole life to this object. Books must be read as deliberately and reservedly as they were written. It is not enough even to be able to speak the language of that nation by which they are written, for there is a memorable interval between the spoken and the written language, the language heard and the language read. The one is commonly transitory, a sound, a tongue, a dialect merely, almost brutish, and we learn it unconsciously, like the brutes of our mothers. The other is the maturity and experience of that. If that is our mother tongue, this is our father tongue, a reserved and select expression, too significant to be heard by the ear, which we must be born again in order to speak. So that is the passage from Walden that I wanted to share with you. And now I'm going to read to you a reflection that I wrote about that passage here inside of my journal. And as usual, before I read my writing aloud to you, I wanted to show it to you. So there it is on those 2 pages. And I will read that aloud to you now. Here it goes. Saturday, July 5th, 2025. Reading with intention is among the most demanding and transformative of human practices. During my time as an undergraduate student at Columbia College, I was introduced to texts that required more than surface-level comprehension. Works like the Iliad and the Odyssey taught me to dwell in language, to notice words as well as the cadence and weight they carried. This way of reading began to mirror how I approached my own life. I started to pay more attention to the pauses in conversations, the unspoken tensions in relationships, and the patterns in my thoughts and reactions. The discipline of returning to a passage again and again until it revealed something deeper became a habit I carried into crossroads of self-reflection and decision-making. Those years shaped the way I engage with literature and, more broadly, with the world. When a book is read with the same care it was written with, it becomes a kind of dialogue that unfolds over time and continues beyond the final page. I found that ancient texts are not locked in the past. They reverberate in the present, asking me to look inward and outward with new eyes. This deliberate approach to reading remains woven into how I interpret and respond to life. It has taught me that real understanding takes time, and that reading is a form of listening, one that can sharpen perception, stretch empathy, and deepen the inner life. Thank you so much for listening.